Monday, everybody. It is Monday, February 9th, 2026. The time is 6 p.m. and it's our regular meeting. Madam Secretary, can you do roll call for us?
Laster,
Present.
Kamal,
Here.
Jackson,
Present.
Kennard,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Rogers is present, Piles.
Excused.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can we stand for the pledge? All right, we are now at the acceptance of the agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the February 9th, 2026 meeting agenda as amended to add the TOP update presentation with Dr. Shammy, as well as 2 closed sessions for the purpose of 8K considering security planning to address existing or potential threats in 8C collective bargaining strategy.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Davis. Any discussion? Roll call. Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
and Rogers is a yes. Motion is approved.
Thank you. I don't see public comment. None. Moving forward to presentations, we have one from Ms. Stacy Metzger, the HOSA Health Science presentation. Thank you.
Hello, I am Stacy Metzger. I'm the health science CTE teacher, and we just wanted to share with you all today kind of about our class, the health science CTE class, as well as our student organization, which is called HOSA, Future Health Professionals. So I did bring 2 students with me. Robert is over here and Jasmine, and they are going to present this information to you guys today.
Hi, how's it going, everybody? Hello. Okay, I'm gonna read off of my first slide now. That's just the point. What does Health Science CTE offer students? The Health Science CTE program at Romulus High School gives students a real introduction to healthcare careers. We don't just learn from a textbook. We practice real skills that people use in hospitals, clinics, and medical offices every day. Some of the things that are real life. We had opportunities to job shadow at Corwell Health down on Wayne Road. We also had like real patient experience, such as like taking faculties of vital signs. We took Miss Marino's vital signs, Miss Miller's vital signs. So it was nice to get some hands-on practice. We also attended Corwell's High School career exploration event. This was last year. It was really nice that we could like see the different careers. And this first picture over here with the body cavity, this was a surgical tech. This is how they assist the surgeon during surgery, where they can, where they help suction out the blood, and where they can put gauze in the person's body to absorb any blood and such. And over here, on the other picture to the right, we have a ultrasound. This was a student practicing how to take an ultrasound, so that's pretty cool. Okay. Health Science 1, building the foundations. In Health Science 1, the students earn certifications that matter. We complete OSHA 10-hour healthcare training and become CPR certified through the American Heart Association. These certifications help prepare us for healthcare environments and future jobs. We got certified in OSHA, and that helps us properly handle workplace safety, like how to handle ladders, how to clean up spills and such. And we also got our BLS certification to help us assist in cardiac emergencies. We can perform CPR, and we can help people who have a more advanced CPR certification.
So Health Science 2 is career ready. Me and Robert are both in our Health Science 2 class. We did Health Science 1 already. We get certifications like a CCMA, Certified Clinical Medical Assistant, and we get CPCT, Certified Patient Care Technician. We also do National Healthcare Association, which is NHA. And then we are career ready after high school. Us students who continue to health science too will earn nationally recognized certifications through the NHA. These certifications allow us to work in healthcare immediately after high school while also preparing them for college and future medical careers. We've learned a lot during this year. We've learned how to give bed baths and different type of basic nursing care. Right now we're learning how to do EKGs. We've mastered blood pressure and vital signs, and we have learned about coding and insurance also. Next is our RHS HOSA, Future Health Professionals. HOSA is a competition that we go to every year. We do career and technical student organization, leadership, teamwork, and competition, healthcare skill development, and college and career preparation. HOSA stands for Future Health Professionals. It gives us opportunities to build leadership skills, compete in healthcare events, and connects what we learn in class to real-world healthcare careers. So my first year and Robert's first year, we both did medical assisting. It was a new experience. It was kind of scary, meeting a whole bunch of people and competing in something we ain't never did before, but it was fun. We had lots of fun. I think I got 13th place that year. Many different schools come to compete. We have one against Northville, Plymouth, Canton, Rochester, Thurston, many different high schools. And then next, we have our RHS HOSA regional competition, which is we do career and technical student organization, leadership, teamwork and competition, healthcare skill development, and college and career preparation. Last year, RHS HOSA sent 7 competitors, to our regional event. This year, 21 Romulus students competed at HOSA regionals. 3 of the students placed in top 5 and qualified to advance to the HOSA state conference in Traverse City this April. It's a huge accomplishment for us and something we're very proud of. Me, Jasmine Sled, I won first place for patient care tech. We have Kamora Trotty that won second place in patient care tech. And then we have Destiny Burns that was top 5 in occupational therapy. In patient care tech, we learned how to do glucose tests. I did in practice on Dr. Harville. He could tell you I took his glucose test. I've learned and applied sequential compression devices. They help stop blood clots when you're laying in a bed. And we also take a test. My test was 60 questions. And like I said, we have lots of fun with people that we don't know and people that came with us this year.
You may ask, why join health science and HOSA? Well, because you can earn industry-recognized certifications, you can explore health career, and you can build really important leadership skills that will help you a lot. For example, we're going to elaborate more into that, but we also, like having our blood drive at the high school, it really helped us, learn like how to communicate with the people from the blood drive, and just getting out there on your own, because after high school we're gonna need to get out there, so it's important to communicate with people and get out there, and also prepare for college. It's really important. And health science and HOSA help students to figure out if healthcare is the right path for them, whether students want to work right after high school or continue into college. This program gives them skills, confidence, and real opportunities.
Also, we get a HOSA stole upon graduation, and we get to for our blood drive. Us students, we get to gather and advertise for the blood drive. So it is a really good leadership opportunity because we get to gather the students and then advertise their blood. That's all.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, what?
Questions?
Oh.
Ask the questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
Of course. I'll let the board go first. I know Trustee Jackson always has a question. He's ready. No? Yeah, no.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys. Beautiful presentation, well spoken, and just to be in Romulus when our health occupations program was somewhere where Belleville students used to come to us. At least you're doing this program and you're placing with Plymouth Canton and other schools like that, getting the Romulus name out there. So it's very exciting to hear about, and congratulations to the ones that are going to Traverse City. And I'm just excited for your scrubs. It's giving Grey's Anatomy and just bringing the things into the fold. And thank you to Ms. Metzger. And beautiful part of the building you guys have. Like, I went in there when the Eagle's Nest opened, and I saw your little dummies and all the things. Well, I'm sorry. What are they called, Ms. Metzger?
Mannequins.
Mannequins, not the dummies. I'm sorry. But yes, the crash dummies. But you do have a beautiful place where you guys are working. So excited to hear the great things that are coming from this program. And thank you for coming tonight to present.
Thank you.
So first, I want to say congratulations going from 13th to number one in anything. That's like exceptional. But I did want to know, like, what were some of the challenges that you faced when you first became a part of HOSA that you can kind of try to help navigate people who will be following your footsteps?
I would say to use your time wisely when you're practicing. Like when Ms. Metzger gives you the skills and, it's not HOSA Friday every Friday, then, you have to take that upon your own time to practice them skills. And I would say when you actually get to HOSA to not freak out. You never know what everybody else is doing in the room. You don't know how bad they're messing up. You don't know what they're doing. So you shouldn't freak out because, once you freak out, you get to messing up and forgetting things. Yeah.
Yes, I think what Jasmine said is a great point. Time management, that's, like even myself, I still struggle with it. I'm turning in assignments on time. So for the next students coming down the road, just stay focused, Yeah.
That's it for me.
Thank you. My turn. Appreciate it. Couple of things I'm going to ask you to, okay? And it's all right if you get it wrong. Have you ever heard of imposter syndrome?
I believe so, but I don't know.
Okay.
more.
So an imposter syndrome is when you get into a group of people and you belong, but your mind is telling you, I don't belong here. It's like Northville, it's Novi, it's Plymouth Canton, all these big schools, we don't belong. That's imposter syndrome. When you belong, but your mind tells you you don't belong because they're better than you. Don't ever let that happen. Okay, you belong. If you practice something and you're good at it, then you belong just like the next people. But I would hope that kids from Romulus don't feel like we're lesser. And I would imagine that some do feel like we're lesser because we're Romulus. Instead of going in there practicing, and then you go in there and you beat them. If it's a competition, then you beat them. And if you don't beat them, then you represent well. Just being there does matter, so thank you. And don't let imposter syndrome get you, no matter what school you go to. You don't want to feel like you have imposter syndrome. I was about to put a dig in for a couple of schools in the area, but I didn't want to say that they have imposter syndrome, but I'll leave that alone. Let me get to the next thing, the blood drive, right? You did a blood drive, yes? In Romulus?
Yeah, at our school.
Yes. Now, yes. Yes,
the high
okay.
school.
The high school. So what was the purpose of the blood drive?
We can save, so we can save lives
By doing what? What are you doing?
by getting people to donate their blood.
To donate their blood, right?
Yes.
Okay. How'd that go?
It did. It went pretty well, actually. I believe we got 31. That was even Miss Metzger said that it was the most donations that she's seen in her entire yeah.
So congratulations with that, but I'm going to go somewhere now that you need to know. In communities of color, people don't give blood. Just don't. What are we going to do about that? What are we going to do? So hearing 31, that's good. But generally speaking, in communities of color, we don't give blood. What do we have to do to change that? You all were at a blood drive. Obviously, you did something well. Maybe next year we can beat 31 what? Quarts? Pints. Oh, pints. Quarts. Yes, pints. 31 pints. Okay. What are we going to do?
I think that
That's the challenge that you're going to have. Is that if you work in communities of color and you do blood drives, you have to understand that we're the ones, generally speaking, that won't do it. So what do we do?
I believe that one thing that we did to help us get donations is we realized that a lot of our students they need to see what's actually going on. Like they don't want to just go and then they're giving their blood and they don't know. Like we show pictures and we give examples of what we talk to the people from last year and tell them to talk to the people that we want to come and help us donate. And they tell them their experience and how they felt about it. And I feel like that helped get us more donations and like showing videos and stuff on why to donate. That also helped.
Okay, okay. So it's Black History Month, and I want you to look up Dr. Charles Drew and then put everything together and understand the importance of not only giving blood, but why it looks the way that it does now. Because there was a time when blood was separated, white blood, black blood. You couldn't donate. If you were white, you didn't take black people's blood. If you were black, you didn't take white. That's changed. That's changed because of a device, but I'm not going to go into that. But just understand in the healthcare industry, when you're around people of color, you have got to do a lot. You have got to educate our community about the importance of all of these things. We shouldn't have to explain to anybody why it's important to give blood at this point. They need to know that. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay in this community. Don't leave and go to another community if you don't have to, and try to educate people within our community, the community of color. So I thank you so much, Ms. Metzger. I thank you. I've been in your classes. I was really hoping to see the video, but I guess that's coming.
Video of
You know what video I'm talking about.
CTE video.
Yeah, the
Can I say
CTE
that?
video that you're in, that you're featured in. Yeah,
Well,
when's that
that's gonna
coming?
be shown on Thursdays. So if
I've already seen it, but what about the board? That's right. We want to see that video because they need to see that video because that video is hot. So thank both of you, Jasmine and Robert. Thank you so much for representing our school district. You both do a phenomenal job. And number one is outstanding. What did you get? You didn't say. You're kind of quiet.
my skill, I did medical assisting, and that's a little bit more competitive.
I know.
Last year, I came in at around like 9th or 10th place, I want to say, around there. And this year, I came in at sixth place, one spot away from getting into top 5. So I think that's still a major
And you need to
improvement.
say that. I was
Yeah,
waiting for you to say
I'm really
that.
proud of myself for getting sixth place. I think that's a major improvement from last year, and just knowing, but I was one spot away from meeting the top 5. I'm still really proud of myself.
We're proud of
Yeah,
you, too.
thank
So
you.
keep up the good work, Ms. Metzger, and the Board of Education. You should go in there sometime and see the technology that they have in there. It's outstanding. So thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a presentation from Mr. Adam Dennison. It is a district safety recommendation presentation.
Nobody claps for you when you're in central administration and you get up and nobody gives you any love around here. Students, if you'd like to stay, you can, or if you'd like to go, that's fine too. You're more than welcome.
Evening, board. Okay, testing. Okay, you should have in front of you a copy of my presentation for our district phones. This is so our phone system currently belongs in a museum, I would say, titled Early 2000s. So this proposal moves us into modern, secure, and safer communications platform. So why change the phone system? Okay, our current system presents several challenges. As you can see, it's aging, very limited flexibility. We have separate vendors for things that we are using within our phone system. It's a rising cost. We have diminishing value for sure. Our existing phone system was installed July of 2016, and just for reference, that cost back then was $115,700. To be exact, $115,659 was the exact amount. So it works, much like a flip phone still works, but it works. Okay. We have a lot of problems with our existing phone system. The hardware is obsolete. In fact, we had a piece of hardware fail recently in this school year, and it was a nightmare to try and get the phones back. We were able to do that, but we did get them back. So the systems that we have in place now, they're obsolete. Slide. So what I'm proposing is to move to a cloud-based phone system using Cisco WebEx. So Cisco, I'm sure everybody's here has heard of Cisco, right? Cisco runs our Wi-Fi. It runs our local network. We're a Cisco shop already. Okay. So there would be so with this new proposal, there would be zero hardware as far as servers go inside the district. We would not have to worry about that anymore. It'd be all cloud-based. Desk phones and soft phones under one platform. If you're not sure what a soft phone is, that just stands for a software phone. So I'm just putting software on a mobile phone, then you can act as a separate phone line. Same thing with a computer, a laptop. I can install a soft phone on your laptop, and then you don't have to have a physical desk phone. You can take phone calls right from your laptop. So that's what a soft phone is. There's built-in emergency calling and safety features. So E911, right? So everything lives right in Cisco's WebEx platform. Right now we use a handful of different things, okay? So it's not just a phone upgrade, it's a platform change. So it'd be, if you didn't see that bottom part, we would be eliminating AT&T phone service. So current services, we have a legacy on-premise phone system, which I just talked about. It's 10 years old, and technology age, it's ancient. Okay. We do the AT&T phone service, and we have a third-party soft phone licensing. I know Mr. Brock likes to use that a lot, and he could probably tell you how many times it doesn't work. So our current provider is AT&T, and we have separate vendors for the layered hardware. Also, what this new system would do would be covering Alyssa's Law. If you're not familiar with Alyssa's Law, it is currently pending in Michigan right now. And what that means is every building, every room would have to have a silent button that would call out to 911. I will say that it has not failed in any state yet. Any state that has brought it on has passed. Okay. So Alyssa's Law includes a dedicated programmable emergency button. We can have it do a 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, however we decide to program that. That's totally up to us. So it covers the one-touch emergency dialing, fast response, direct support. For Alyssa's Law, we're already in compliance before the law comes out. So it's fast emergency notifications, simplified staff training, and consistent. So the cost comparison, we got old versus new. Our current annual cost, so this is last year's fiscal year, we paid $36,406 to AT&T phone service alone. On top of that, we pay for the licensing for our soft phones, which is an additional $21,000. for a total of almost 58,000. This new plan would be $30,000 annually for the 5-year contract. Of course, we would have to purchase almost $50,000 one-time purchase of the hard physical phones. Everything that you see here is in the REMC contract, which is why I don't have bids. Everything has already been bid out statewide. So the financial impact, obviously saving $27,000 per year with what we're doing currently. Long-term benefits, we don't have to worry about servers anymore crashing or the ability to buy hardware to fix a server. It's all cloud-based. Cisco's got our back on everything. It's just simple. Pays for itself year in and year out. Also trusted by the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan currently uses this phone system, and most recently, Oakland County Schools. I'm having trouble with my little slide deal here. So the transmission plan, this would be obviously a summer project, but we would do a building at a time. It'd be a lot faster than what it would take to install servers and everything else on that back end. It'd just be a matter of moving numbers from AT&T and Ultronics over to the Cisco platform. So in our next board meeting, I will have my recommendation is now to authorize the annual cost of $30,000, discontinue AT&T, and switch to our Cisco WebEx. Of course, this vote will happen at our next board meeting, so this is just the presentation at all. That's all I had. Questions, comments, concerns?
I got a question. By it being web-based, like what precautions will we take? Even though you said like it'll be limited crashes, we can't really predict a limited crashes. So when it fails, because it will, because it's web-based, what are the precautions that we will take?
So right now, we actually just had through our E-rate funding last Friday, we just had a redundancy line put in through AT&T. It costs us pennies, but if our internet goes down, then it switches over to that other line. So, yep, we'll be up. Yep, and having Cisco there and seeing and helping with any errors at all, it's going to help my team tremendously. It's a separate contract. Yeah. We would keep the AT&T through, because that's through E-rate. So we would keep that just as a backup, and then move everything over into Cisco, which would be our E911, our calls, our outbound call service, and the back end piece, the administrative side of it. I wouldn't say long at all. Maybe one PD day, and then we could go do some touch-ups and reminders, throughout some staff meetings, and we would be able to do this summer easy.
On the system we currently have, like if 911 is called, would it alert like to emails like that a call was made in Dr. Edmondson's room or something like that? Do we currently have something like that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
all of that was.
Yes, and that's under it's called Intrado is the company, but it's like I said, it's piece. You've got to go here for E911, you've got to go here for our phone system, you got to go here for our voicemail, you got to go here for our soft phone. It's scattered. It's all band-aided together. So
You got to piece together what
yes.
you want to use. Okay.
So this would be removing the band-aid and putting everything together.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Sure, Dr. E, you seem like a lot of questions. All right.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dennison. We now have a TOP update from the one and only, first time up, Dr. Shammy.
Is he talking about how many slides? It's going to go so quickly. Good evening, Board of Ed. What'd you say? I'm going to move really quickly, but I wanted to answer your 6 questions. So thank you for having me up here tonight. I just wanted to kind of give you an update of what we've been doing for the last couple months. I've been pretty busy. Trying to learn and observe and see what's happening around the district. And so I just wanted to first answer your 6 questions and just kind of give you a general idea of the direction of the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Professional Development. So objectives. Objectives for today. Mine are, first, is just to understand the vision and mission and the direction of my department and how we want to progress moving forward. The second thing is to take a step back. Remind ourselves of why we're here, who we serve, and contemplate whether or not the things we're doing are working. And do we keep doing them, or do we shift to do something different? And then the third thing is my report, the answer to your 6 questions, which your 6 questions were amazing. And I don't know if all of you wrote the questions, but your 6 questions have helped me design our next professional development. And it kind of has helped me generate sort of a framework for myself as we move forward. So your 6 questions fit right into what I want to share with you. So these are the 6 questions that they asked me. They want to know about my observations since being here in Romulus Community Schools. What does our current curriculum look like? What is it aligned to state standards? The third one is about instructional practices and what we're encouraging teachers to use with their current curriculum. Number 4, what recent student data is influencing my curricular decisions. Number 5, what curriculum updates or adoptions are planned for the next 1 to 3 years. And finally, the last one, probably the most important one, is how do you collect feedback from teachers, parents, and students? And so these are the 6 questions shared with me that I wrote a long answer for each one of them, and then I cut it down to just a slide for you, so you don't have to read those. So this is not something I'm going to read. But I'm showing you this because this is what my brain looks like. Every time I make a decision or decide on something, I refer back to these experts that I have spent my career listening to. From Horace Mann to Ralph Tyler to Howard Gardner, Jerome Bruner. We know how to educate kids. We've known for a really long time. We haven't always done the things they told us, but John Dewey back in the early 1900s told us experiential learning is how kids learn. And they're not doing that anymore. So we know these things, and so I keep all of them in my brain literally every day. And I love to read their books and make sure that we're doing things right. And I'll say this, educators have lost their way, and they're not following these experts who told us what to do. So my observations since getting here, I have a lot of observations since getting here, but the first one is that I am, maybe for the first time in a long time, part of a team that's committed to students and the community that we serve. And that's not, I don't say that lightly, because that's not the case in every space. And so being a part of a team that's committed to students and the community is where I want to be. The second thing is the kids are amazing. They're brilliant. They are funny, and they're eager to learn. They're eager to grow. Every time I walk into a school, I'm amazed by the kids that are inside of it. The third thing is that Dr. Edmondson honestly has set me up for success. So he is the leader that I've been waiting for. He tells me all the time, do what you do. You're the expert. Make your decisions. Figure out what the kids need. And so that is something that, first time for me, I've never experienced someone saying, yes, you've studied curriculum for 30 years, now answer some questions about curriculum. Honestly, this is the first time, and so that's amazing. That's a great observation for me. The fourth one, our buildings are beautiful. They're clean. They're welcoming. They are full of promise. I love walking through all of our school buildings. And I was in them when I was a child. Some of you may remember that. I've been in these schools since I was a kid, and I kind of expected everything to be different. They're gorgeous. They're the same, better maybe, but beautiful. And I think it's important for people to know that because it's not necessarily the impression that people might have, but it's the truth. We have countless teachers, principals, staff members that are committed to excellence. I can't go into a school without finding people that will do anything for kids. And then the last one, it's now possible, I think, to really assess and rebuild the infrastructure of curriculum, instruction, and assessment. You have all done a lot of work to stabilize things and organize things, but now you've got it in a place where we can make some real decisions about curriculum that will honor our students, hopefully bring more of them back to Romulus. So how does our current curriculum align with state standards and upcoming changes? Honestly, our current curriculum is fully aligned. I have 0 issues with alignment. Most programs that are for sale right now are fully aligned. That's the one thing they can all say is that we're aligned to the standards. And so our curriculum is aligned. Any changes that I make or propose will also be aligned to our state standards and the Common Core, which are the standards for everybody. Our standards are not changing. That will stay the same. And then the last one, preparing for some of our literacy changes. We have UFly in place, which is going really well this year. Teachers are loving it. So it's that phonics piece that had been missing for a really long time. And then the other thing that's going to come up is the dyslexia screener, and we'll be prepared for that as well. So that's one of the things that will be happening over the course of the next year, and we'll be ready for that as well. What instructional practices are we encouraging teachers to use with our curriculum? This is so hard for me to answer because our curriculum, particularly K-5, is scripted. So you can't encourage a lot of instructional practices when you're also telling someone to read a script. They have to follow it exactly the way it is. So our previous leaders have really leaned into the computers. IXL, Study Island. There are so many platforms that kids are on all the time. And experts are telling us that's the way to do it. Experts said, do this, buy this, go and do this. But what seems to be happening is our kids are on a screen a lot, right? So we put their phones away, and then we give them a Chromebook. And Adam and I have been talking a lot about this. The Chromebooks used to be such an exciting thing for kids. When the Chromebook cart came in, they got excited to do something innovative and cool. It's not like that now. It's a constant all day, every day screen. Moving forward though, the things I'm thinking about are the innovative instructional practices, high expectations and rigor for all of our students. That's something I don't see in spaces where I need to see it. Culturally responsive classrooms and school spaces, and then redesigned, reimagined school structures. The last one is differentiated instruction. You can't differentiate instruction with a script. That's a challenge and a barrier that we currently have right now. You can't do anything for the kids who don't understand because the script says keep it moving. So those are the things moving forward that I'd like to maintain our focus on. You asked me about data points. I am a data, I love it. My first instinct was to give you pages of graphs and charts and explanations, and then I didn't do any of that. This right here is what keeps me up at night. 2,000 kids that live here and don't go here, and I don't understand. So this is the data point that I'm most interested in. That keeps me up at night. I can't fathom why 2,000 families aren't here in our schools, and they would select charter schools or districts surrounding us. We have amazing teachers, we have amazing schools, and so this is the #1 piece of data that I think is driving my decisions, because these 2,000 children should be in their community schools, not someplace else. The second one, when I first got here and I saw the use of the Chromebooks, I was really looking and like, is it just too much? So I started to dig online. We have a ton of platforms. This is just one of them, IXL, Study Island. It goes on and on. I have a list of maybe 15. I just picked this one. It's used a lot. That's how many hours our kids have spent on IXL this year. So I met with some RESA consultants to do a program evaluation, because this was such a huge number. But really, it's not even worth the program evaluation because because we have so much, we're using it so much, and it isn't making an impact on the scores. It's being used as instruction. And so that number right there also keeps me up at night. The 33,000 hours. I've been going back and forth on IXL for a while, talking to Dr. Edmondson about it, trying to figure out what do I do about IXL. This number helps me, but the thing that actually made me make my own decision was about a month ago. I sat with some kids and I asked them their experience on IXL. I talked about, excuse me, what does it give you? What does it tell you about yourself as a learner? An 8th grader, cheerleader, was telling me how she got her score and it was a 620. I said, so what does that mean? Well, I'm in 8th grade, but I'm a 6th grade reader. Nope, actually that doesn't mean that. IXL can't determine your reading level. They don't know reading levels. It's not set up like that, but it's sending this message to our kids that they're not smart enough. So if you get on there and do some more of it, you'll get better, you'll get smarter, but it's really sending them a negative message. And that was really the day that I made my decision. I've just been trying and looking and researching. I've done a ton of research on IXL now. I know way too much about it. But the thing I needed to know was that it's 33,000 hours and that our kids don't feel smart when they complete a task. So this is a second piece of data that is really driving a lot of my, my decision making. Here's some actual academic data, because I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the curricular changes. This is math. These are our current kids, and I did it a little differently. These are cohorts of students. And so in the first graph, you're looking at our current 5th graders. When they were in 3rd grade, 43% of them were proficient in math. When they went to 4th grade, 33% of them were proficient in math. Same kids, but 10% are no longer proficient in math. Those are our current 7th graders. And when they were 3rd graders, 24% were proficient in math. And by 6th grade, we're down to 3% proficient in math. And so that gives you a lot of information about math, right? So as soon as I got here, that was my first thing, was math. And I'm not sure if you heard about my interview, but in my interview, they asked me about curriculum, and I was giving this whole long explanation about this curricular program that I had once used in Farmington and how took us from the top to the bottom in the county. And then I said the name of it, and it was Bridges. And then Dr. E was like, we have that. I got the job anyway. even though I made fun of the curriculum that was currently being used, this is what happens when you use Bridges. Bridges doesn't teach the algorithms that we need it to teach, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. This is ELA. There is a climb from 3rd to 4th. These are our current 7th graders, but that dip from 5th to 6th is dramatic. So ELA curriculum is another one that is something that really needs to be looked at and determined, is this culturally responsive? Is it relevant to our kids? And is it working? So back to my little Bible of researchers. One of those researchers is Aaron Johnson, who happens to be a local educator, published author. And he's been doing some stuff for us. He's been doing a comprehensive needs assessment. He wrote the book, A Walk in Their Kicks. It's about literacy, identity, and the schooling of young Black males. But when I read that book, cover to cover, I learned so much about literacy and about teaching Black students. And I had been teaching Black students for 20 years, but reading his book had changed my life. And so I had this opportunity to work with him in a couple different capacities. And right now, he's working with us on a comprehensive needs assessment, because while I can do all the quantitative data that you need, I can make you charts and graphs, what he does is the qualitative. And he's been out there collecting the voices of our kids, our teachers, and he will be working with our community and then present all of his findings to Dr. Edmondson and then to you. And the information that comes from that is extraordinary. We will hear the voices of our kids loud and clear and know what their experiences are and what to do differently in order to bring more kids to our schools, but also to make school better for them right now. So it consists of 4 different parts. There's student focus groups that he's been doing. There'll be teacher focus groups, central office focus groups, and then a community dialogue so that people can talk about school. So Bridges is constructivist. And so the first thing the next slide is gonna be what curricular changes do you wanna see? And one of the first is gonna be Bridges. Bridges math is constructivist, and the idea is that kids can construct their own meaning of all these different mathematical concepts. I taught Bridges, so I know how it works, which is why I was using it in my interview as an example. I taught it for a few weeks, and then I put it to the side and I taught math, because Bridges doesn't. It doesn't provide standard algorithms. Unfortunately, the kids get to 6th grade and the teachers want to know why the kids can't divide, or why they can't multiply, or why they don't know fractions, why they don't know how to multiply fractions. And the answer is Bridges doesn't teach that. It's about conceptualization. And 3rd graders can't construct their own knowledge of division. They just can't. They need an actual algorithm to do long division. So Bridges is the first thing. Literacy in K-5, collaborative classroom, is not like Bridges in that it doesn't follow the standards and doesn't provide what we need it to provide, but it's way too dense, it's scripted, and it takes too long to plan. Teachers are spending a couple of hours planning, and it takes 3 hours to get through all of it. Because like the other programs in ELA, we've been teaching ELA wrong for about 20 years. About 20 years ago, they told us to stop teaching phonics, stop doing all the foundational stuff. And then 20 years later, they went, oh my goodness, the kids can't read and write, right? And it's everywhere, across the country. And so we had to add pieces to Collaborative Classroom. Well, all that did was add time. And so while, yes, you could teach Collaborative Classroom all morning, you don't get time for science, you don't get time for social studies. Kids love that stuff, and you don't get time to play. And so those are the two things in the coming weeks and months that I'll be bringing to you will be a recommendation for K-5 math and K-5 ELA. I feel like it's probably the most important thing that we could do right now. The two programs that we're using are definitely a barrier, in my opinion, are a barrier to our student success. Other potential changes, there could be a million of them. Those are my two priorities right now in K-5. But looking at ELA in 6 through 8, Amplify is currently used. I've had some conversations with teachers. We're gonna look at that moving forward. Big Ideas was adopted recently, and it's actually a really good program. So we'll just monitor that one and see if that's working. But that's in 6 through 12 right now. I'm looking at increasing course offerings, CTE, dual enrollment, and looking at science and social studies, because in K-5, we haven't really been teaching much of it. So making sure that we do, but also that they have materials that they need so that the kids can enjoy it again. So the sixth question was, how do I collect feedback from teachers, parents, and students? Well, we did a lot of things. I surveyed pretty much everybody. They get surveys about PD. I've asked surveys about their curriculum. Responded telling us how many hours they spend planning, how many, they've rated all the curricular programs that they use, K through 12, so that we can see what their feelings are. The comments that they've shared, like how much time they have to spend planning, that means a lot. If you spend 10 hours planning, it's a good chance that you're gonna push that aside eventually. It's too much. So surveys, focus groups, and then community dialogue, those are the three primary ways that we're collecting feedback from teachers, parents, and students right now. Want to start a student curriculum council. So as we start to go through this, I talked to Dr. E about it a couple of days ago. I actually told him I hired someone, and he went, what are you talking about you hired someone? I mean, she's just a kid, and she's 16, and I'm not paying her anything. But she's at the high school, and she was really excited to hear it. But we're gonna put together a student curriculum council because their voices talking about what they wanna see, what they wanna learn. How can we restructure classes? How can we make school a place where you wanna be? Because school needs to be a place you run to, not from. And so that's a real key for us right now is finding out what it is that the kids need so that some of them will come back to our schools where they really belong. I mean, and the quote on the bottom, student voice is already there. It's not something that we give, it's just something that we honor. They've got their voices. Right now, we're in the process of hearing their voices. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dr. E hears their voices all the time. That has come out loud and clear with our student groups, that they do feel heard by Dr. Edmondson all the time. But that isn't always the case in every other space. And so, but that's really good news that they feel that kind of connection. I'm gonna just share this with you really quickly because he's gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna share it really quickly because this is the end. But when you ask me about instructional practices, a lot of times people want a list of turn-in talks and this and this and this and this and this, and an equation or some kind of formula for teaching that will work. And there is no formula for teaching, ever. When people say teach a curriculum with fidelity, sometimes they tell me I don't sound like a curriculum director. I do sound like a curriculum director. Other curriculum directors don't always sound like a curriculum director, but when it comes to knowing what kids need, that's what a curriculum director should sound like. And so I can't give you a formula. No teacher, no principal, I can't give you a formula. But I'm gonna share this because it's sort of a piece of me that I carry with me all the time. This is something written to me probably 15 years ago. I was teaching 6th grade. I'll do this very quickly. Dear Doc, I still remember vividly being the first day of your class. I was nervous, I was confused. It's always like that for me on the first day of school. I remember how strange your room was to me, how different it was from any other classroom I'd ever seen, but mostly I remember you. Never had I had a teacher quite like you. Before 6th grade, my life had undergone a lot of change. In the months I had with you, I found my equilibrium and decided the kind of person I wanted to be. You were the first to tell me my writing was something special, and the first teacher I ever had to treat me as an equal. Finally, thanks to you, I had discovered an outlet for myself through writing, and you fueled my passion for books with a constant flow of material. I remember the end of the year. It was bittersweet, of course, with the thought of leaving looming close, but it was fun. I remember going outside sometimes, sprawled out in clusters. The sun was gentle because it wasn't quite the peak of summer yet. The breeze blew every now and then, and I felt more content than I ever had. Of course, school did end, and it was sad to leave, though I didn't comprehend how much I would miss it until I left. It was the end of an era of close-knit classes and deep student-teacher relationships. I would never find something like this in middle school, and I'm sure not in high school either. And I dearly miss it. But I'm so thankful I had the honor of being in such a class, to be blessed with memories so warm and nice of times when I could learn slowly and deeply, surrounded by people I considered friends. My incubation period was over. I doubt I will ever forget the environment you created in that class, or the enjoyment that I had talking about books and so much more with you. Thank you so much. Melina graduated a few years ago with a degree in creative writing from University of Michigan. And I share this with you because when someone asked me what was my philosophy on instruction, I said it's the incubation period and that it should never end. Because what she called the incubation period was an era of close-knit classes, deep student-teacher relationships. Students learn slowly and deeply surrounded by friends. That shouldn't have ended for her at 11. It shouldn't ever end. And so when I talk about instruction, for me, those are the instructional practices that I want to see. Kids can learn anything if they have an environment where they feel like that. This was delivered to me 4 years after I had her. It showed up in my classroom. 4 years, she was in high school, and sent it in interschool mail to my elementary. This showed up 4 years later. And so to me, this is the stuff. This is what instruction's all about, is providing these kind of spaces where kids can learn slowly and deeply, surrounded by friends and people they trust. So coming soon, next PD Day is going to be, I think, a good one. We're gonna reimagine school. So our elementary staff will be with me. Our secondary staff will be with Dr. Johnson. In the morning, Dr. Edmondson and I will introduce sort of our vision and what's gonna happen next. And they are gonna spend the day reimagining school. What should school look like? If you were a kid right now, what would you wanna do? And redesign what school is. And also coming soon, some of the things that I'm thinking about all the time are reducing screen time, increasing collaboration, and more engaging activities, critical thinking. We have to shift our test prep mindset to teaching. Teaching is test prep. The test determines whether we taught. We're doing a lot of test prep, and we need to shift that mindset to just instruction. Because if we do that right, the tests take care of themselves. And then finally, student belonging. Is if we don't have that, the rest of it doesn't matter. Do you have any questions for me? Thank you, sir.
Well, I just wanted to, welcome. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for your passion. It is truly boiling over. And like, yes, you have a slideshow, but you can tell that you genuinely breathe these words. And like you, how you took the 6 questions and framed it and everything, it's just, you've been doing your work and you see what we need. And, everything is not going to work. Even if we get these new you seem like a person, hey, this is not working. Yes, we made this decision. We're going to pivot. So, I like that you're wondering where are the 2,000 students. So it's just exciting. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm excited to work with you and see what comes from all of this. So I want to know where they are too. Well, we know, but yes, come on home.
Thank you. I was thoroughly impressed. You took those 6 questions and you made me want to go back in school, right? And when is that PE? Because I might want to PD. Yeah, I might want to sit in on that because although you had belonging at the bottom, that's actually number 1, right? Those
weren't prioritized.
Right. No, because I feel like most of the 2,000 students might feel like they just don't belong. But if we can reimagine school differently, they will belong because we have to get the word out that this district is the district where you will belong, you will learn. My biggest thing right now is the literacy. I seen you, it was one of the earlier slides with K through maybe 2, but it is because they don't know the phonics and No Child Left Behind is kind of the blame for that. But we have to get the word out, like that this is a district where you can come and your child will learn how to read between these grades, because it really is complicated, to say the least, that this is happening over across the nation. But kids can't read, and if they can read the words, they can't comprehend. That's just the long and the short of it. And if we can get the word out that that's what we can teach your child, I do believe we can get a lot of that. If we can get 100 or 200 of that 2,000, we have done our job. But I just want to say thank you, because, like, you took your time, you prepared for it, and that's the kind of presentation I want to see in somebody who really cares about the students. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you, because we were on that phone call, and those were a lot of the questions, and you hit it right, right on the head. And I love the way you took your time to bring us the information versus just giving us a couple little short answers and saying, this is what I'm doing. You've done your research, and we really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing our district move further.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I think what will help too is word of mouth, because yesterday I sat with two parents that were just pleased with the medallion ceremony and just the changes, and they talked about how students wanted to rise to that occasion, like it put something in them. And then you have the negative about Romulus, but to hear that gave me hope, because you know what I'm saying? All it takes is somebody to say, well, this is going on. And actually the parent that I spoke with came from another school and came to Romulus. So I'm excited to hear that that student is thriving. We take one, we get them in there. You tell a cousin, you tell a friend, because the same way that the negative can spin, and you can talk about all of this, but if we are educating and we are promoting platinum and all of this stuff and getting kids to rise to the occasion, I feel like there is hope out there. So thank you for what you're doing in that part too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The other piece with the curriculum change, parents are going to love to hear that. They can help their kids with math. Oh my goodness. It's been a long time since they could help kids with math, but when you use traditional math, actual math, parents can actually help them, and they don't feel so helpless, and the kids' confidence will grow. So I'm hopeful and excited. I'm glad you can hear that in my voice.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the February 9th, 2026 consent agenda as presented. Matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If any member of the board or any citizen requests discussion of an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion of the agenda. A, approval of the minutes of the Board of Education, January 28th, 2026, regular board meeting, along with the closed session. B, approval of the bills for payment as submitted by the business office in the amount of $1,192,620.38. C, approval of the financial statements for December 2025. D, approval of the personnel actions as submitted by the Executive Director of Administration / Human Resources, Kevin Brock, the employment of Deborah Nesbitt, social worker at Hale Creek Elementary.
It's been motioned by Rogers, supported by Kennard. Any discussion? Roll call.
Rogers is yes. Kennard? Yes. Jackson? Yes. Davis?
Yes.
Kamal?
Yes.
Laster?
Yes.
The motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are now at the report of the superintendent, Dr. Edmondson.
Thank you. I'm glad that somebody recognized when my affect. When I have a lot on my mind, I get quiet. I just don't say too much. I'm about business. And that's where I've been the last week. I was sick last week, but I'm still sick now. But I feel better about what I need to do, and I need to do a few things to move the district in the right place where I feel. I'm just going to tell the board to hold on tight and support me. That's all I ask you to do, because there are some things that need to be done here, and I'm going to do them. And I hope that I'm your guy, that you want to do that. So I am. Dr. Shami, great presentation. You know, I love you. I appreciate you. You know that in such a short period of time. I thank you for the words that you said. I was thinking about something that happened today. I sent an email last week. I think the board got a copy of it to the students that passed both sections of the SAT. And I said, oh, I'm going to pay for your prom ticket. Or that was months ago. Gave them the choice, but everybody picked the prom. So I sent another one out. I mean, I sent that a few months ago. I sent another one last week just as a reminder. And I'm going to tell you what happened today. So I had a teacher that sent me an email and said, hey, if we could only get one of those students to come to school. I was blown away. So I said, send me her information. So I got the information. I saw that she has a 1.7 GPA. I won't say any names. A 1.7 GPA and has missed countless days of school. So I called. I got the mom. And I talked to the mom and I said, this is just devastating to me, how a student can be so smart, at least test smart, and then has a 1.7 and isn't coming to school. Something's wrong. There's a disconnect somewhere for somebody to be that bright and have all this potential opportunity and not coming to school, and the GPA is bad. And I was telling the mom, I just asked her flat out, I said, can I ask, are you African American? She said, yes. I said, well, so am I. I said, this is crushing to me. I said, how many kids that are so bright and they're just for whatever reason not motivated? What is it? I don't know what it is. But I'm always interested to find out. So I told the mom, I'm coming. If I don't show up at your house, I'm definitely showing up at school to have a conversation, because it's these things I hope that separate me from other people, is that I do take the call. I will call. I'm not going to wait for somebody. I'm going to take the initiative to call a student to find out what is going on, what has happened, and what you can miss out on. You know, and I said these are things where you look back in your lives. If we all don't look back in our life and say that we would do things differently, then we're fools. There's so many things I would go back and change, because I've impacted so many people by the bad decisions that I made. And, you know, I don't want that student to have that, but I need to have a conversation with her. And I think that's what does separate me when Dr. Shami is talking about, oh, kids know who he is. Oh, absolutely. Because I have presence when I go in the building. I'm not just visible. I have presence, as I explained today. Visibility is just being there. Presence is what you do when you're there. So I like to engage with students. Another thing that I thought about was a student, unsolicited, from student council at the middle school, sent me an email asking me, could I come to a meeting to hear what student council thinks about having cell phones during lunchtime. I said, absolutely. And then it was, ironically, the student came back the next week and said, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that to you. So I wrote back to the student and I said, obviously a teacher got back to you. Obviously a teacher got back to you. For you to say that to me, that means a teacher stopped you and told you shouldn't go to the superintendent. I want all kids to be able to ask me any questions. I'm not beyond reproach. Okay, they should be able to feel comfortable with authority. You don't have to be scared of authority. You should be able to ask a question and to ask for support. So it's little moments like that that I leave with that are more impactful to me than a lot of other things that people might think are important. They're not. But I like that students know that I care, and I show it. It's not just know it, it's that you show it. And it comes in different waves, and it doesn't mean that I'm buddy-buddy with you. They know I'm not buddy-buddy with you. I'm not. Okay, I'm an adult, and I'm here to support you, but I'm here to set the expectations high. So when Dr. Shami was talking about a lot of those things, I think one of my big issues is I don't feel the expectations are as high as they should be, and that kills me. And I think I've said that to you before. It just kills me, because I'm always going to have high expectations, because I believe when you have high expectations for kids, they will rise to them. They will rise to the level of expectation that you give them. And so what I say is, if my expectations are here and yours are here, that gap causes the kid grief, because they think that my expectations, what I'm asking for, is too difficult because the bar has been set so low. So I'm going to challenge you to look for that. Walk into schools, ask questions, correct kids, but definitely ask questions like, why not you? Why don't you? Why aren't we here? We should be here, not down here. Why aren't we here? So the last thing is, this somewhat related. Today was a good moment for me. I read to all the principals. I read an excerpt by Langston Hughes, and I asked how many people had read a book by a black author. Most did not. That's fair. That's legit. Most haven't. If you didn't have it in school, sometimes you didn't get it at home, so you didn't know. But here we are as adults, and we still haven't read anything by people of color. But what was most impressive is when I asked, first of all, I asked all the principals, what have you done for Black History Month? I want to know, what have you done? But I couldn't get past the first two because they were so engaged with it, and I was so proud of them. But one of the questions I asked them is, why does it matter? And that was so impressive, the response that I got, okay? I'm not going to tell you who. I'm just going to encourage you, go to schools, ask them, why does it matter? Why does it matter that we have Black history? But I'll say this, it starts with your foundation. If you don't get it, if you don't learn it early, by the time I ask you in the 10th grade, why does it matter? You don't have an answer. You don't have a compelling answer. You're not passionate about why it matters. It does matter to me because my parents started me early on the importance. But anyway, I just read a couple of pages, and this one always makes me cry. This story, every time I read it, I can't help it because it's that emotional for me, and it means so much to me. But I read it, and I saw everybody's face too, and I was just really proud of how we were as adults at that moment. I probably was doing more of the talking. I tried not to after I read a piece. I didn't finish it, but I read it because I wanted to get them to want more after they read that piece. It was just, ugh. But I'm going in, and I will tell you, I'm going in this week and next week. I'm going to spend time in classrooms, and I'm reading Langston Hughes, and I ask questions of kids that are poignant. It's not just about being Black. It's about how would you feel in this moment? Why is this important? Can you feel the tension between between the two main characters? So I love these opportunities to go into classrooms and teach and ask questions and push kids to want more, and adults. Today was a good moment for me with our staff, the principals and the cabinet, just to sit and let them hear an author of color present an issue that's pertinent to people of color too. So it's just a great moment. I enjoy this job. I thank you again. I don't want to take that for granted. That's just where I am right now. I have a lot to do. My board is covered there. I'm in that moment now. For the next month, I'm probably going to be in this moment where I'm all about business and what I think we need to do and where we need to be and what we can be. So I ask for your support, and I ask you to hold on because, when you make people upset, they start coming for you, and they start coming for people who they think can get you out of that seat. And I don't think that's the case here. I don't think teachers are going to do that, but just hold on. That's all I'm asking you to do. That's it for me, President. I will pass this over to you again. Thank you.
All righty. Moving on to the report of the Executive Director of Administration and Human Resources, Kevin Brock. He has an action item. Copy that. Somebody want to read it?
What?
I didn't know what's going on. I didn't know. Should we put the book over here?
I'm good. No, I'm not about to cry. No. You'll cry if you read it.
It looked like you was. You got it. Let it go. Please.
It's Black History Month.
Personnel recommendation approval of David Main as IT security analyst. Oh, where's that?
Oh,
I just start where it say recommended motion. Move that the Board of Education, David Main as IT security analyst for the 2025-26 school year. Rationale, the IT security analyst, one position is vital step in safeguarding the district's technology, infrastructure, data, and operations as cybersecurity threats grow increasingly sophisticated and educational institutions become prime targets. The role ensures the district systems remain secure, compliant, and resilient, working under the guidance of the Director of Technology or IT Security Manager David, the IT Security Analyst 1 assist in implementing, monitoring, and maintaining security controls, as well as responding to security incidents to protect students, staff, and district resources. Budget implications 11-84-1510-001-000-0000. Exhibit C attached. Support.
It's been motioned by Jackson, supported by Davis. Any discussion?
Yeah, I want to know, is David here?
Yeah, so, excuse me. So we, our IT security analyst left and went to another district. So David currently works as a network specialist within our department already. So he would just be moving into that role.
Oh, so he's just moving over. And
Yep.
what kind of certifications does David have?
He has a degree.
Oh, certifications.
No,
'cause
just a
degree
degree.
stuff change over
Yep.
time.
It's a degree. Yep.
No, I'm serious. No.
Yeah. So there's a million ways to go in IT, right? And not I don't have certifications.
Right.
So I have a college degree. So you can, I mean, some people go that route. Some people go the college route. He's got a degree.
And how long has he been with the district?
Oh, he's been here 3 years.
Right. So he know the system that he'll be at.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
He's our genius.
Okay.
For sure.
Oh no, that's just what I was making sure.
What's that? Yes.
Oh, okay.
So in my absence, he does the board meetings, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
He's at the events too, like when he sets
Yep.
up and, yeah.
Yep. Real quiet, but knows his stuff.
He work in IT. Of course, he's quiet.
Yeah.
You just look around like it's David.
You haven't met me.
No, support.
Madam President, I have a question.
Yes.
So the salary for this position, is this the same, or is this an increase, or what do we?
I'm sorry, can you
Is the
ask?
salary that's being proposed, is this salary of the current base budgeted at that amount, or is this an increase in the line?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is, so this
It's,
what it
it's
was
what my
budgeted?
previous, yeah, it's what the
So what
previous
the previous
person.
person was receiving that?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Yes.
Okay. So there's a there's a salary savings on the base budget line, that's what I was getting at, that's what I was asking. Thank you.
So you saying for the people in the back? That's, you just wanted to say it loud. Got you. All right. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Support.
Davis,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Bernard,
Yes.
Rogers is yes, Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you, and thank you, David, for all of your work in the district. I know he's probably listening, maybe, I don't know. All right, report of board subcommittees.
Okay, in the strategic plan subcommittee, we talked about strengthening community connections after the bond election. We talked about behavior, some of the common behavioral issues that kids are struggling with, and changing the cell phone policy to address cell phone use during instructional time and emergencies.
Did he even do the sinking fund?
Okay, the sinking fund met, and Jason's gonna be coming to us relatively soon pertaining to some projects for the summer and the budget for that. If you look in your finance report that's in your board package, you would notice on the sinking fund that there's approximately 96% of the funding that hasn't been used, but it will be used up and utilized when those projects start moving forward. So he's gonna be coming to us shortly. To talk about those projects. One of the biggest projects is the parking lots, and he'll have a presentation for us forthcoming. And the Finance Committee, while I'm sitting here, we're trying to establish a date, so it's a standing, so we're trying to get something like maybe the third week or something like that, but we'll get back to you about that. You guys had our presentation previously, and so you got some information, but we'll be coming back to you with some other things later, okay?
Anything from policy? We'll be coming to you about compensation. Just put a parking lot right there. Okay, thank you. My only thing, I want to thank Ms. Metzger, Robert and Jasmine, and also the other students that came to present. Very great, exceptional presentation. I love to hear how passionate they were and just excited that our name is getting out there in different arenas. So that's exciting. I do want to thank, congratulate Coach Dan Hines. He is like a silent but powerful force, like very vested in Romulus, always helping. He's a trainer, the wrestling coach, just all over. He was recognized by the Michigan High School Wrestling Officials Association with a fellowship award. He also hosted, they had like a wrestling tournament. It was a Fury. Feathered Fury. I think that was on Sunday. Okay. Some type of wrestling rumble, but held that down and just always, just a presence for our district, just a great asset to have. His assistant coach is Jalen Culver, so just thanking that whole organization, the team, and Dan for all that he does. So I just wanted to give him his kudos on YouTube. And then I want to say thank you to Jason Perkins and Ray Holt, just because you guys being on Sinking Fun, it makes it just chef's kiss. Like, always a phenomenal presentation. You always keep us up to date, always in the know. So it's great working with you. I hope I don't get kicked off of Sinking Fun, but it is a pleasure working with you guys, and thank you for all that you do in the maintenance department and everybody. Thank you. And that's all that I have. We'll go to the board members. We'll start with Trustee Kamal.
Happy Black History Month. Just gonna close out with a fun fact. The first African American elected to a public office was a man named Wentworth Cheswell. He held several in the 1700s. He held several elected positions over his lifetime, including assessor, town auditor, magistrate, and school board. His story reminds us that Black leadership and civic engagement has been a part of this nation's history from the very beginning.
Thank you, Trustee Kamal. Appreciate it. Trustee Kennard, Treasurer Kennard, sorry. Madam Secretary.
Nothing.
Trustee Jackson.
Nothing.
Vice President Davis.
I guess I'll say something this time.
Cool.
I want to give very big thanks to Dr. Shanley, because I think that was the first time in a while I feel empowered by a curriculum presentation. It was spectacular. And it wasn't data heavy either. Because a lot of the times we've just seen data and that huge downward slope from elementary all the way up into high school. But we didn't really get the reasons why. We kind of just got, oh yeah, it's kind of that natural progression down, but what are the causes? What's actually happening? And maybe it's because now I'm a teacher in the classroom and I can see it, but this technology, I mean, in a music classroom, I try not to assign too many online work, but they have their Chromebooks out every day, all day, every day. They never, I swear, they're like attached to those Chromebooks. And, starting in November, one of the things I did in my classroom was give them a playing test and a paper test. And it blew my mind how many students couldn't follow simple directions. Like, there was this packet I gave. It told them, draw 5 notes. Gave them the staff, gave them, like, a little ghost note. Like, here's what it should look like, here's where it should be. And a lot of my students couldn't do that. And I was blown away. Like, I tried to give them, all the tools to help them be successful. But there's some sort of disconnect where they're not understanding it. And it's very shocking for me, and it's very sad for all the students that at some point the systems failed them. And now we have this opportunity to make it right. And I am so glad Dr. Shanley is here right now, because she obviously knows how to make it right in some way. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Vice President. Dr. Edmondson.
Sure, just dodgeball is next week. Trustee Jackson, thank you for putting the word out there. You've gotten several donations. I appreciate that. I mean, I was like, class of 2000, we kept talking, who's connected to class of 2000? And it's you. So thank you for putting the word out there. Vice President Davis, I know that I asked you to do the national anthem on the saxophone. That's still a yes, right? That's still a yes. So it's going to be a family event. Want to make sure this is a family event, but I need to make sure that the board is there because I sent the mayor a text 2 hours ago. I said, city council and the mayor versus school board and the superintendent in dodgeball. And then I said, well, you're probably scared of that, so you can probably bring the PD. I said, and then I'll bring our staff. So our staff and us versus the mayor and the city of Rockmore, the city council, plus the police force against us. I said, listen.
The whole city council?
Yeah, the whole city council. Who's the whole city council? They have as many as we do. We're good. Yeah, I mean, come on, listen. If we can't, never mind. I'm going to be quiet on that one. But just want to make sure that you're there. It's going to be a nice event. I want to make sure that we have kids out there. It's going to be a family event. I want you to be there. I know that you will be there. And if you can't, bring somebody and if you want to sponsor that, it's a fundraiser. So if you can, I'm not going to tell you how much to do, but if you can't do it yourself, get somebody to do that for you, please. It's a fundraiser. We're going to have a lot of fun. So and I just want to thank everybody for helping that come to fruition. We're going to work on that tomorrow and probably knock that out and have that done. So just appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Edmondson. We are now in closed session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the 2 closed sessions for the purpose of 8K, considering security planning to address existing or potential threats, and 8C, collective bargaining strategy.
Support.
Been motioned by Laster, supported by Davis. Any discussion? Roll call.
Laster,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
Rogers is a yes. It is 7:22.